Okay, I'm going to calm down. I just took my PTSD medication, which peaks in the blood plasma in 1 minute, full strength, all 2 milligrams. Second best medicine on this planet after cannabis. I am still alive because I am a superior tactician. I've developed a strategy for today to try to bring a halt to this bullshit, and I'll tell you in a moment. But first, I'm quite sure because of the handwriting and the name on the box that admits that it's been doped with something and some sort of clear liquid that's full of a fascinating substance that's at least kind of water resistant or partially hydrophobic. But my first statement is I know who brought this stuff here, quite sure. She has good intentions or whatever, but she will tell you she's had substance abuse problems. She's a good Christian now and wants to bless me. And actually, the last thing she brought to me, I smiled, I took it. And as soon as she was out of sight, it went right into my trash bag that I hang on the side of my chair. See, I have to stay neat and clean, which is why I may actually go into my go bag money and check into a hotel today, as I desperately need to clean up to maintain. Actually, I'm thinking about ditching this jacket. It's going to be warm enough because it's already beginning to pill up like I've been. Because when you wear the same, it's, shirt for, if it's not taken off and washed and kind of conditioned a little bit. Haven't studied fabric conditioners much. Just don't like the fragrances in them. It went out again. Pilling is really unattractive. That's one of the reasons I've been loving these t-shirts from Walmart. Is it's a synthetic that actually even wicks the salt up with the perspiration. Doesn't separate the salt from the water and trap it on the skin to where you cause abrasion if you wear the shirt too long. I bought a bunch of those t-shirts, 4XLs, for only $6.83 a pop. I'm a shekel squeezing, penny pinching Jew who wants to have the money when something is, costs a lot, like a damn phone or my monthly, service, which at least finally this month, in my third month of owning this phone, I'm finally getting the upload speeds that I've been paying for. Outrageous sum of money. And I've heard some of y'all, and there's a guy from Samsung that's been trying to sell a Samsung wireless internet connection or whatever, and he asked them, how much do you spend on your internet? And there are plenty of people here that freely admit that they spend $300 a month for something that they barely use. And that's why the people of this area have no problem with, and yet I haven't gotten to the band yet, haven't named the woman. They'll piss away money here and there, no problem, blah, blah. But when it comes to like a 45, because I've read your comments on Nextdoor app. They were bitching about some $45 bill from the city of Pflugerville. Oh God, some of you people spend $45 on a snack. A snack, and you're griping that they raised the taxes by 24%. Well, Texas in general overtaxes. My county doesn't issue debt. We don't issue bonds. We slightly over debt and build up a rainy day fund. I don't know how the local government operates here, but this is a boom town. This is 70,000 people that are about to go to within the next day will be within the next, by the end of this decade, will probably be at least 200,000 people. Well, yeah, probably 200. At least it'll go from 70 to 150,000 people. There's that much just right behind me. Pflugerville Farm. There's enough space there to put shit like 20,000 people. I'm surrounded by all these big blocks of land. You know, this place is ripe for expansion. And people complain about me being negative. Oh, you're so negative, man. Oh, dude, when negative things are happening, I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to now name the lady, and I don't think she's a subscriber. But if you know Misty, she admits that she's had a substance abuse problem in the past, but she's now a good church-going Christian. Still likes to imbibe because the Bible does encourage the drinking of grape alcohol. Eat, drink, and be merry. And let he who is heavy of heart be given wine, and let he who is near death be given strong drink, which means distilled wine. That means, brandy. That's this shit. So, Misty, please don't ever come back. If somebody at whatever church you're at can get through to you, you know what I'm talking about, Misty. She's kind of a tall girl, and let's just not. She's no Twiggy and stuff. She's friendly. We had little chats sometimes, but her name is right on one of those boxes, Misty's Mini Muffins, and she admits, but she doesn't tell me how many milligrams of some unknown substance is supposed to be inside there. That's probably not a reused microwavable container. You can buy those things at like Costco and Round Rock. Jeez, I'm sure you can get those because I see them all the time. Buy them in bulk over there, super cheap. Better to, anyway. And whatever liquid's in there, because I know I'm going to go more than I wanted to. Misty, don't come back. Please, somebody tell her don't be leaving shit here. And this is my strategy for the day. Because I've got all this shit sitting here. I almost wish I'd hung on to Roger's trash. It's already in the trash can. Instead of, because I have really no need to go to the nearest trash can for many hours. I have a little trash bag here. It's not even 1/10 full. And I'm talking about, grocery store little trash bag, grocery bag. So that's my tactic for today. This is when they come up in here. I thought I'd bring you a little blessing and stuff. I'm going to go, oh, no, thank you. Please, look, I have so much. Oh, that's right. I have so much food here. I've stacked it up. There's 3 large containers of food. And there's this moonshine shit that ain't that probably just stuff is made out of neutral spirits, which means it's drinkable. It's made out of that, what the label says isn't obviously what's in it. And that's what really scares me. I really got a good look. It seems that the precipitate is actually growing larger. It's managing to absorb a little bit of water. But that's my strategy for today is, no, please, I have more than I can possibly eat for days. But bless you and happy holidays. I'm not going to say happy Thanksgiving or Merry Christmas to nobody because you fucking Christians are really pissing me off. You see why I had to take that little oblong rectangular pill? When people start stressing me out and making me have unwanted and unnatural thoughts of doing them harm, I need to suppress that because I have done harm to many evil fuckers. I didn't want to. They forced me to, you know. You know. So that's it. And I'll say, like, hey, by the way, while you're taking that shit that you brought me away, would you please carry for an old crippled up man with one arm, would you carry away these fucking like 14 pounds of garbage, poisoned garbage that somebody left me? Would you do that? There's a trash can right over there. Would you please do an old man a favor? Take the shit that you brought me and the shit that's right here that somebody else left here unattended all night. It only got down to like, it never got below like 66 degrees or something last night. And I'm going to tell them, would you please do that for me? God bless you and bye. I'm going to remind you one more time. The waste of food is a sin. I've told by video, by word of mouth, everybody knows not to bring. So now they started bringing me, because that's all was home cooked stuff. And one's admittedly adulterated. And the liquid in that jar is not the liquid that's on the label. And has a obvious kind of a milky precipitate in it that kind of watching it almost seems to be kind of a gelatinous, like it hasn't been heated enough to make it hydrophilic and join with the whatever water's in there. It was only supposed to be 40 proof booze anyway. 20% is 40 proof. So, to the people of Pflugerville, if y'all really are not learning the lesson. If you give people what you want to give them and stuff, fast food that you like, it's easy for you to get, and all that kind of stuff. I'm repeating it one last time here. You don't give the person what they need. And, do I need a diamond ring right now for Hanukkah? Fuck no. Do I need socks like we Jews give on Hanukkah? In big packs of like tube socks to the little kids who tear them up. No, I don't wear socks. I may play 32 minutes of video that's mostly audio, because as soon as the man approached, I turned the camera down towards my lap and reassured him that he wouldn't appear on video unless he wanted to be on the video. I may let you hear me have a conversation that is actually a repetition that I've had, because they usually, really at first it was 4 or 5 times asking me the same fucking question. Why do I sit here all day long? I already made a 10-minute video on that. It's gotten about 600 views or 700 views. You think the word would get around why I sit here? I'm a cripple waiting on surgery. I don't really walk very well. And right there, and right there, and right over there are 3 public invites that have toilets. And there's actually edible food at Starbucks. 7-Eleven's got almost nothing in there is edible. I've not been buying hardly anything in there. I've only been buying my food up at Walmart. The only thing I buy at 7-Eleven is coffee, bananas, and a pack of cigarettes. You know, it's so. Yeah, I've gone 15 minutes. I don't give a fuck. So that's my strategy for the day. Is thank you. Now look at all this lovely food that some good Christian brought me. Even the one down there at the bottom, if you want to pick it up and look at it, it's marked. It says that it contains some sort of additive in it, some sort of CBC. And then look at this lovely butterscotch industrial grade crap made in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You can buy that corn ethanol by a tanker car. If you buy a tanker car load at one time and then load it into your tank, you can get that shit so cheap. And then artificial butterscotch with real caramel coloring, though, costs serious money. Here again, I've fucking. Yeah, I think somebody's about to approach me. Dog lady with her son. They're just going to go behind me. I'll have to calm down here for a minute. When children are around, I do not use vulgarity. There's one in it. Don't be getting into my frame. I do not. That's what I try to avoid. Is I do not, because of the child rapist that caused me to remove my first 8 videos. The very first video, which was for kids, had some kids in it on the 4th of July fireworks here in Pflugerville. They're on a public easement and a public. I'm not going to go back and edit out that little 3-second slot. So that's today's tactics. I'm a tactician. I'm going to use somebody who didn't listen and didn't love me. Clearly, you know, if you love somebody, you give them something that doesn't make them sick. You know, you don't deliberately give a loved one. You claim you love me in the name of Jesus. But my trust right now with the whole Hamas thing not resolved, I'm surrounded by people who are you have to give a person what they need, and when that person's already told you what will make them ill, the kinds of foods that will make you ill, and you keep bringing them, and you keep bringing them, and you keep bringing them, then I have to take these little, been having to take them for now going into my 34th year, one of the best medications on earth to stop the seizures, to stop the insomnia, and to keep me calm. And because I do, especially if a person gets too close to me. That's one of the things you did last night, Roger. At least you came in on the side with the non-function arm. Don't get close to me. Don't be touching me. These are warnings. These are lawful warnings. One may make lawful threats. I'm making no unlawful threats here. I've proven this in court to a smart-ass attorney who thought she was going to. Did you threaten Mrs. Terrell, Mr. Kruger? And I said, Miss Embry, I made no unlawful threats. That's all I said. That was my sole response. And right then I knew that the Honorable Judge John Jack Plocky fell in love with me right there. Actually, I said, before that, she goes, is it true, Mr. Kruger, that you frequented Mrs. Terrell's, the lesbian, who never cohabitated with her husband, the cop? She got into the copping business purely to frame what she called white trash, specks and niggers. Admitted it to my neighbors while getting drunk, scared the shit out of my neighbors, female neighbors who are themselves not too friendly towards. She was a total misandrist. She was the first one to frame me. What happened to her? She finally got smart and realized that she was never going to socially outrank me, and took a gun to her head and even blew it. She did it like this, which only causes took her 8 days to die. They asked my buddy Bruno to be her conservator, and he had to remind the judge a few things and said, I'll take the job if you want me to, but I would rather not. And the judge found somebody else while we all partied. If you're going to do it, put it in your mouth. That way the pressure of the blast blows out your lungs and guarantees you're going to die. It took that evil bitch 8 days to die, and nobody, absolutely nobody, cried over her. She had a reputation in my community. Everybody hated that bitch. Psycho, 4-time fired cop. Lost a wrongful termination suit that cost her a shit ton of money. She was a Houston heiress. I know I'm going 22 minutes here. Sometimes, if you try to report me to YouTube or the local authorities for making a lawful threat, giving you a lawful warning, I wouldn't do that. I have a tendency, let's just put it this way. There's an old Jewish curse that goes like this. May your life be full of lawyers. You make it. Just like that cop, that rookie cop that claimed that he was going to, take me to jail for criminal trespass when he didn't know an agent of the owner had given me express permission to be there. And his supervisor was watching. I ain't seen them fuckers at all for months now. That was a couple months ago. You don't come up on me trying to raise your voice, escalate, bully me, and misquote the law. You cannot arrest me for sleeping in public. It's a civil offense. You cannot arrest me without the property owner's collaboration. The property owner has to declare me a trespasser. A cop cannot declare you a trespasser on private property. He doesn't have that right. It has to be initiated by the property owner or an agent of the property owner. So I've really had it with your shit. I'm going to, especially because I've really got to start taking care of shit. This is Monday. I need to make a call to a particular orthopedic thing that has pretty high reputation. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to read the 5-star reviews. I read the negative reviews. I'm a Jew. I'm really good at analytics. I'm only going to read the negative reviews first because I can separate out the ones that are just some bitchy, ghetto kind of trailer park. I can tell by their composition of the English language what's a legitimate complaint and what's not. But I only read negative reviews because they're usually the truth. Just like West Oak rehabs and places that I've personally gone to and stuff like that I might check or be giving them. But never go by the 5-star reviews. I'm warning you, I may raise my voice. That's not assault. You have entered my space and essentially given me permission legally to raise my voice and give you commands to stay away from me and out of arm's length or reach of that umbrella. Like I said, I'm training the short and the long stick. Matter of fact, when I was at the academy, I broke 2 batons. The other guys were fucking scared of me during baton training and stuff. I broke 2 batons. Have you ever seen a baton break? I broke 2 of them when they would do the blocking move. When they'd hold their baton up. I cracked 2 of them. I broke 2 of them during training, and so even the biggest guys there were never talked no shit to me. They had never seen a baton break. You ever seen a video or a baton, a real baton, you know, breaks? Probably not. There you are. Misty, stay away. And if you come up here today with any more food donations from, I don't care if it's home cooked or not, I don't trust you. Look at what she gave me in that. I'll try to give you some close-ups of the precipitate in there. It's becoming more and more apparent. Because chemical reaction is temperature dependent. 10% for 10 degrees, etc. As the temperature is coming up and stuff like that, that stuff is finally beginning to, it was more like a powder at the bottom that wasn't that obvious. It's now finally beginning to mix with the water after many hours. So, yeah, I know I've gone 26 minutes. I don't give a fuck anymore. I need to get through to you that what you think is good Christian behavior is in violation of Jesus' own words about annoying people. And I'm just not going to take anymore. And there's really nothing you can do about it. If I use vulgar language towards you, if I tell you to step the fuck off and get the fuck away, that's because I'm in fear of my life. I'm a fragile old man, but I still have enough strength to bite somebody one last time. And I certainly know how to take, and although I have very little range of motion in my left arm, my weaker right arm, non-dominant arm, I can still kill you with that. That umbrella looks harmless, but I know how to handle it in a lethal fashion. And there is no such thing. I'm going to end this right now by looking you right in the eyes. There is no such thing as a fair fight. I learned that at a very early age. I'm not going to operate under the Marquis of Queensberry's rules. I'm not going to close my hands. I'm not going to spare you any damage. If you get into my space and you're really being aggressive, you better watch out for a potentially lethal reaction from me. Because when I get going, the pain alone, I'm going to qualify under, here I am, sounds like I'm planning it. I'm not. But it can cause what we call temporary reactive psychosis. That's an affirmative defense against you invading my space. Keep your fucking distance. Don't be bringing me no more fucking food. If you come up here, you want to help me, either give me cash and or take away the fucking shit that was left here during the night. That's clearly dope. It's marked dope. You can see the dope in the alleged booze. I don't want to open it up. I am going to finish with this. I'm going to go 30 minutes. Look, I've been studying chemistry, reading all kind of stuff. I don't know it all. I'm forgetting a lot of shit. But I remind people, I tell my best friend all the time, is I'm real leery about these vapes and shit like that. And one of the stories I told him was that LSDD, it's because that's really what it's supposed to be, lysergic diethylamide ditartrate. Dr. Hoffman had tartrated some LSD, dropped some on a hot plate, it vaporized. He inhaled a micro amount. On his way home, he was hallucinating his ass off. So spraying of any kind of perfume, use of any kind of aerosols or vaping around me, unless you're pulling that right into your lungs, of course, there's a limit on it, really. So I'm a tactician. I'm watching every one of you motherfuckers. If you come up here and you pull the same bullshit and you claim that you didn't know that I have food preferences, actually, the minute I tell you I'm a Jew, you know that I have food preferences, and that whatever that you're trying to give me is probably unacceptable. And coming from, technically, if you want to go back to the book, I'm not supposed to sit down and eat with or accept food from the Gentile. You people, you good Christians that like to go by the letter of the law of the book, you real hard-ass motherfuckers. Well, I'm not supposed to even sit down and have a meal with you. You're unclean in our book. Okay? Keep your distance. Mind your manners. No more shit. If somebody wants to come by, if one of my viewers wants to come by and meet me, I got about 14, 15 pounds worth of shit here that needs to go. It'd be really nice if you came by and took it over. It's not that far. Took it over the trash can for me, but I plan to leave it here all day as a deterrent, so I can just politely say, thank you, no, I have plenty to eat. That will rot before I could possibly, and the ants, so, that's actually ant proof. She remembered that part of it. Last straw. And a warning. Don't get aggressive. Don't move up on me close. But unless you're handing me leafy green with a dead president or Dr. Franklin. Dr. Franklin is my favorite leafy green. Dr. Benjamin Franklin. He wasn't a president. He's my favorite leafy green. It's really cute people. Seriously. I know that most of the people I run into there, I can tell you're not from Texas just by how you approach me. Not even from this country and stuff like that. You have no etiquette. You have no training in how to be sociable. I've been trained how to be the best behaved in the mansions of, California. I have excellent table manners. They're not so good now that I only have one arm, but well, shit happens. And shit'll happen to you if you fuck with me again.